We have a new Fortnite season here and I'm so incredibly hyped for it. Make sure you like the video for the algorithm so this video can reach even more people and teach them about this season's meta. I've been playing for about 6 hours already this season and I have a pretty good understanding of what the meta is going to be like. Also, if you haven't seen the season yet, this is going to tell you a bit more about the items and what is new. So without further ado, let's get straight on into it. I am excited. Let's start talking about the map changes. So there are a lot of map changes happening this season. We have the addition of the Nitro Dome instead of fencing fields, Redline Rig and Brutal Beachhead just below it, and also a lot of changes to Snooty Steeps, turning it into Sandy Steeps with a lot of the buildings being removed and it being leveled out of it, therefore being called Sandy Steeps. I personally was expecting Mount Olympus and Brawler's Battleground to go this season, and also the Underworld and Grim Gate, seeing as we no longer have the Greek mythology type season. However, they have stayed, and you can still get skull dashes from the lake at Grim Gate and the Underworld. So with the map changes we have going into the middle of the map, we have the lake, which has changed pretty drastically into a nitro/zone type thing, with the lake having a pretty low depth, so you can actually run normally in it, which I really like. I hate water, I don't know what it is. In terms of the locations that are great to land at this season, Grim Gate is going to still be good for the movement. We have Reckless Railways, which still has one of the most chests in the game and wasn't really touched. Sandy Steeps is still surprisingly good despite having a major nerf this season. The Nitro Dome doesn't have that many chests and feels like they're pretty hidden and is not very easy to loot. However, one thing that is easy to loot is obviously Brutal Beachhead. This thing has an absolute ton of chests, probably almost as much as some of the main locations, and they're pretty easy to reach. Redline Brig is probably pretty average, but it could definitely do for a duo. They've added even more permanent movement around the map as well with the addition of Nitro, which when you go through little Nitro portals and take the Nitro item, you get increased stamina, and absolutely a massive increase in stamina for about maybe 40 seconds, and you run faster and jump higher. Your guns have infinite ammo. It is pretty wild. Your guns also reload very slightly faster. I'm sure this is going to be great for those long distance rotates you and your duo have to go on, and there's even permanent mobility for the Nitro. If you jump through these hoops, you'll go flying. They're meant for vehicles, but if you jump through them, you'll also go flying. It's just without a vehicle as well. Let's talk about the shotgun meta this season, the main gun meta that everyone always talks about, the shotgun meta. So there are 3 shotguns in this season and I think it's a pretty interesting one. What they've done is basically replace the auto shotgun, which was pretty useless after its nerf, and replaced it with the combat shotgun. I feel like from what I've seen, this combat shotgun has received a buff. Don't quote me on that though, it does feel pretty buffed, I can't lie. In my opinion, this shotgun does a ton of damage, but you want to need to have good aim. I think the pump, controversially, is the worst shotgun this season. The combat is the second best shotgun, and the gatekeeper is still the best shotgun this season. The gatekeeper just does so much damage in a controlled box setting that I think it puts it above all of its peer shotguns. In terms of ARs this season, we have the Warforged AR from last season, we have the Nemesis AR has been vaulted, and we have the Enforcer AR. Also, we have the Combat AR. So we now have the Combat AR and the Shotgun in the meta. The Enforcer is a very slow firing AR and does quite a lot of damage. Pretty good for Surge. The Combat AR absolutely shreds at close range, but isn't as strong long range. And the Warforged AR is a pretty identical version of that. In terms of what's going to be viable this season, I think our main Surge weapon will be the Enforcer AR. And then our main in the box gun will be the Warforged AR. One great for getting Surge and one less good for getting Surge. The Combat AR is going to be the one in the dumps this season, the one you don't want to find. That is my opinion on the AR meta. As for the SMGs, now this is an interesting one. By interesting, I mean absolutely no new SMGs has been added, and I still think that the Burst SMG is the strongest SMG in the game, and you should be carrying it at all costs compared to the regular SMG. One piece of great news this season is they've removed the sniper, which I think is brilliant news. No more overpowered snipers or no more underpowered snipers. But what is the replacement like? The replacement is a crossbow type weapon, and I believe it isn't competitive. And I will be honest, I'm not sure this thing's much better than snipers. It is an explosive weapon that does 44 or 40 damage on the hit, and then explodes as well. We'll just have to see how this one plays out. The main movement item this season is the gloves. They're called the Nitro gloves, and they have 3 things you can do with them. You can punch with them if you don't jump and press the right trigger or left button on the mouse. You can power up and jump straight up if you press the right button on the mouse or left trigger. Or if you jump and press the right trigger or the left button on the mouse, you can dash forward. This is the main mobility item and the one we'll be seeing people use in endgame. I really like it. It's a powerful item, but it's going to mean we have great mobility in endgame, and that always makes me happy. I don't have to think as hard on any rotate. As for the medallions and mythic weapons, this is a really confusing one in terms of the mythic weapons. There seem to be a lot of mythic weapons on the map, and I'm about to explain where they come from. Firstly, we have Megalodon's Nitro Fist and Combat Shotgun. These will spawn on Megalodon. He either spawns in a brutal beachhead or he spawns at a gas station. Ringmaster's Boom Bolt is the crossbow type item, and he actually spawns in the Nitro Dome. The Machinist Combat Assault Rifle actually spawns down in Redline in the south of the map. Oscar's Frenzy Auto Shotgun spawns up in Classy Courts. Cerberus's Gatekeeper Shotgun spawns in Grim Gate. If you manage to collect Loot Island, you'll get the Conductor Hand Cannon mythic item. I did say there were a lot of mythics, and I am not lying. There is probably about 6 or 7 on the map right now, and we can actually expect to have more added as the season goes on. To get the medallions, there's going to be 3 Wasteland Warriors walking around the desert biome, and they will each have a medallion each. One of the medallions gives you unlimited ammo in every single weapon, as well as having increased damage on every single gun in your loadout. The second medallion gives you unlimited nitro, so it means you can run faster and jump higher the entire game, as well as regenerating stamina about 4 times as fast. The final medallion heals your shield. You can get up to a 75 shield with this medallion, though it does take a little bit time to kick in. So if you get hit mid-fight, you can just chill in your box for a second and get straight up there with the medallion. These medallions are worth going for, and I think the Nitro one will be especially strong. It basically means you do not need to carry any movement, and you can maybe carry a crossbow in your 3rd slot instead of carrying the 5th, because you have unlimited Nitro to run in endgame. And as a couple of quick notes, there are actually bushes that you can find around the map that give you shield. They are cactuses, and they're going to give you 30 health or shield when you destroy them. Likewise, another thing I forgot to mention was with the gloves, you can actually go straight into someone's box. If you're on a position diagonally to the box, you can jump up, press your right trigger or left mouse button, and you're going to fly right to the back of their box, meaning that you're going to have a free shot on them if they don't expect it. Use it wisely. This meta is actually wild, and you can expect some great tutorials in this channel coming forwards into the new season. So make sure you subscribe and notifications on so you don't miss a single video on the channel, and check out all the Destiny Jesus Masterclasses, link in description. Watch this video on the screen or you're not going to qualify for a single solo victory cash grip this season, and I'll see you in the next video.